All
All
right.
right, let's cook.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the second episode of the Best Buds podcast. Jacob,
So
how are you
nice.
today?
Oh my God, dude, let me tell you, I'm melting my very currently for anybody not in is a higher being with a fucking magnifying glass over the sun, just aiming it directly at a Pacers game yesterday.
Oh, dude. You keep cutting out. I don't know why.
Wait, is this better maybe?
You did not cut out that time, so yes.
I just believed harder.
I do believe in fairies. I do. I do.
I do.
Um, yeah, the first topic that we are actually discussing is this goddamn fucking weather, dude. We're not gonna say where well, I guess you talked about the Pacers, but yeah, the fucking Indiana weather, man, okay? It
Hmm.
has been, I don't know if every viewer knows, but I get up at midnight, and my first thing that I do is, besides start being a hooligan, is I look at the weather. And when I look at the weather, that determines if I'm wearing pants or if I'm wearing shorts. And lately, since I've been getting up at midnight, I take it, it's 70 degrees at
Oof.
midnight. Like, yeah, chill, fucking Mother Nature. It's not even
Mm.
Mother Nature's fault at this point. It's our fault because
We did this to ourselves.
we've fucked the planet up so much that we are
Mm.
now torturing ourselves by baking in our own easy bake oven.
Many different hair products from the 50s just burning an ozone layer.
Oh my god, dude, the fucking I don't even I can't even think right now. It's so goddamn hot. We both have fans going. Like that's how you know. Like I have central air and I still have a fan going. Jake does not. And he's how many fans do you have going? Do you just have one?
I only have one fan in the whole house, and I'm just dogging this shit right now.
My god.
Yeah, I'm inside of a microwave like a hot pocket, just spinning the fuck around.
So yeah, that's how we're doing right now in the heat is suffering, endlessly
Mm.
suffering.
Mhm.
Um So moving on
It,
from the weather already, well, go ahead because you were gonna say
yeah.
something.
No, you're all good. I actually forgot. My brain melted and it just went away. Just leaked out my ears directly into my headphones.
It took 2 seconds.
It's the heat, dude. It's like an iron. It smooths wrinkles in the brain.
It's so bad, man. Um, so the next thing that I have on my list is it has been 10 years since the amazing video game Batman Arkham Knight has been released. 10 years.
Absolutely insane.
We were just talking about this, dude. Like, how long it's been with like our friendship and stuff like that. Like, this game is as almost as old as our friendship. Like that, it's sickening, almost.
In a way, it's just brutal, you know? The
It's
passage of time just never stops.
for real. Like, it's also sickening because this game, like Arkham Knight, is still better than Gotham Knights and the Suicide Squad game mixed together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's That's terrible. That shouldn't be allowed. But it is. I mean, look at Lord of the Rings for instance. Like Lord of the Rings was made back in 1999, no, 1998 to 2003 or 2005. I can't really remember like the dates right now, but like those movies are still way better than most cinema that is out today, and that says a lot.
Absolutely. Also, since we're on the topic of Lord of the Rings, let's give this a little talking to.
Okay.
Why has there not been another great Lord of the Rings release since Shadow of War?
So, Shadow of War. Hold on. Is that the anime one? No, cause that's I hold on.
That's the video game with Talion.
Oh, okay. I haven't played this one yet. So,
Oh
I
my
I don't
goodness.
dad played it. So my dad played it. So, I know a little bit about it, but I don't know much.
Let me tell you something about this game real quick, and it is gonna sound like I'm bitching because I totally am, actually. The Nemesis system, one of the best systems ever created for video games, used in the Shadow of War and its other game, which is slipping right off my smooth brain. Um, Completely randomizes everything. The orcs remember your every move. They adapt to it. They have their own personality. Every time they beat you, they actually learn your style. They get stronger. They have their own armies. Um, and it was copyrighted by Warner Brothers, so no other game can use it. And they're
Oh,
just sitting on it and have never used it again since this game came out.
how long has it been since this game came out?
I believe like 2017, 2016.
I have it up. Hold on. Oh my god, dude. That's insane. I mean, okay, so yeah, we're just discussing video games right now because that's very similar to the bullshit that EA is doing, which I also should have wrote down on this that there's actually updates about Battlefront right now that I have to tell
Mhm.
you. Um but like that's exactly what EA is doing. Like EA has we've discussed it like in person with each other before, but like EA has created some of the best Star Wars video games ever with Battlefront and
Mhm.
promised its fans for Battlefront 2 so much shit. Like during the Clone Wars drop, which was the last drop that they ever did for Battlefront 2, we not only were supposed to get the Clone Wars armor and stuff like that, which we did, we were supposed to get Ahsoka and Asajj Ventress from the Clone Wars
Whoa,
series. And
really?
yeah, we did not get them because they just stopped updating the game and they just stopped doing anything with it. So just recently, with the spikes in the game performance recently, with the whole push to get Battlefront 3 going, the developers have started putting out triple XP weeks and even triple XP months recently, and the developers are now back to spectating games again. And just recently, screenshots were revealed of in-game chats of developer going into somebody's game and was like, "Oh, I'm just here spectating you guys. Just have fun. It's totally fine." And they were like, "Are you playing? Like, what's going on?" And he was like, "No, I'm not at work right now, and we're not allowed to play the game. I'm just spectating to watch players have fun. So just do your thing." And he revealed that they are working on Battlefront 3 and they are opening it with all of the maps and characters from Battlefront 2 and introducing 7 new heroes and 4 new maps.
Oh my goodness.
Brother, do you know how a developer literally in game chat said multiple times, "I'm not supposed to give a lot of shit away," gave away some of the biggest fucking information in the entire world, confirmed Battlefront 3, and confirmed that they're working on 4 new maps and 7 new heroes, including Ahsoka. He name dropped Ahsoka.
And I know damn well EA just brought him into the back room and lobotomized him.
Dude, they legit had to have like looked at that username and like pulled everybody in and was like, "Who the fuck is it?
We're
Tell
on
us
your
now.
ass.
Who is it?" Like it was big deal because he was asking like what characters people would like to see see in Battlefront 3. And I have been saying Cad Bane for a long time because he is literally, I don't give a flying fuck what anybody says. Cad Bane is the best bounty hunter known to man in the Star Wars galaxy. I don't give a flying fuck. If you think Boba Fett is better, you're fucking lying. Who trained Boba Fett? Cad Bane, bitches, get over it. Anyways, so immediately somebody in that chat listed Cad Bane, and that developer just said, "Okay, what the fuck does that mean, brother? I'm gonna need more than just an okay from you, motherfucker. Like, I need more. You're dropping all this information. Give us the details. Give it,
Mm.
give it
How dare you hit us with a one-word reply?
for real. Just okay." But yeah,
Okay.
I hate when fucking companies do that, man. Like Warner Brothers especially is notorious for fucking holding on to like amazing content. So, kind of tying it in with like the Arkham stuff a little bit too. Like, did you hear what like how Arkham Origins was made and stuff like that? Like,
No, actually, I'm pretty unfamiliar with the lore.
okay, don't worry, buddy. I got you. When Rocksteady was in like the grace period of Arkham City. Warner Brothers was seeing how well that Arkham City was doing in reviews and sales and all of that good shit and stuff, and they have always wanted to start their gaming company up. They've needed a reason, and the Arkham games were that reason. The only thing that they didn't take into consideration is that they should have probably told the original developers for the Arkham series that they wanted to make an Arkham game. So they just started making Arkham Origins during the production, early writing productions of Arkham Knight. And when they did this, they did not tell Rocksteady. They did not really tell fans what was going on. So they worked on this game for so long because Arkham Knight took 5 years to make. I don't know if you know that, but
Oh,
yeah,
jeez.
it took 5 years to make. So in between that time period of Arkham City and Arkham Knight, WB Montreal took a lot of assets from Rocksteady's Arkham games, like the map from Arkham City, and applied it to their game for Arkham Origins, and then changed it slightly so they wouldn't get in trouble because they knew they weren't telling Rocksteady. So like why would you what we can't copy and paste it. We got to change some things, right? So
That's insane.
they they start pushing out the promos for this very early on. And they do this at a Comic-Con. Well, when they do this at a Comic-Con, they do it the day before Kevin Conroy is supposed to appear at said Comic-Con and do a panel. So when he's doing said panel, a fan walks up and all excited that he just heard there's a new Batman game coming, whatever, not even thinking of it, goes up to Kevin Conroy and goes, "Hey, are you in the new Arkham game that was just announced?" And Kevin's sitting there like, "Oh, I didn't know they announced it. I didn't think we were done filming yet. Like, that's pretty crazy." And he's just saying what he knows, which is his game is next, Arkham Knight. And at the time it wasn't called Arkham Knight. But he was like, yeah, I'm a part of it." And they were like, "Oh, cool. It's Arkham Origins." And he stopped and he like stared at the fan for a second, and the fan was like, "You is this not the same game?" And Kevin was like, no, no it isn't." And he went back to his hotel, and when he went back to his hotel and finally got a chance to like look at his phone and everything, he was blowing up with tons of missed calls from Warner Brothers, his assistant, like so many things. And finally he got a hold of his manager, and his manager was like, "You need to call Warner Brothers right now. Like, they were waiting for you, they are still waiting for you. You need to call them right now." So he gets on the phone with Warner Brothers and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And they're like, "Yeah, we want you to know that you're in breach of your contract and you just spoiled so much about the future of the Batman Arkhamverse, and we are currently thinking that we need to pull you off of Comic-Con." And
Oh my goodness.
yeah, Kevin was like, "Hold the fuck up." He was like, first off, he was like, "I am very sorry if I gave away anything that I wasn't supposed to give away. That was not my intention." He was like, "I had no idea about this other video game that you guys were working on." And they were like, "Well, that's because it's not made by Rocksteady. It's made by Warner Brothers Montreal Games." And he was like, "Yeah, I don't know what that is." He was like, "I had no idea you guys were doing this. I had no idea it was in production." And like I didn't know. And they were like, "Well, now the secret's out that there's another game coming that's not made by us, so what do you want to do about it?" And he was like, I don't know. You should have told us. You should have told us what to look out for." And Rocksteady heard about all of this. And Rocksteady didn't find out until the day after all of the bullshit with Kevin and all of the bullshit with the release of Arkham Origins. And they got a hold of Warner Brothers Montreal and said, "What the fuck are you doing?" And they were like, we made Arkham Origins, like we wanted to create our own video game." And they were like, "Well, it's not your video game, you took our video game." And they were like,
Mm.
"You work for Warner Brothers," like, and they were like, "No, those are our mechanics, those are our graphics, those are our maps, that's our character design, like, and part of our story. You can't do that without getting us involved." So they ended up going through, it was a small legal dispute. Warner Brothers didn't want to attach Rocksteady's name to it and ended up like going through a battle of some sorts. And basically Rocksteady said that if you threaten Kevin Conroy to not do Comic Cons again, they will pull all future projects of any Batman video games to never be released, and they will fight hard to make sure they are never released. And Warner Brothers Montreal was like, "Okay, we're sorry. Your name's now attached to it as well as anything else that we do in the future." And now they work together totally fine. Like they get along totally fine now. Well, I don't know if they get along, but they seem to be amicably working.
Yeah.
And it was actually so funny because Warner Brothers Montreal were the people to release the statement that they would be looking into doing online gaming from now on. And then Rocksteady stepped forward and was like, we're retracting that statement and we're actually focusing on single player story mode games." And we were like, "Okay, Rocksteady, can you just take over?"
Trying so hard to get away with everything that they possibly can.
So they ended up, WB Montreal and Rocksteady ended up coming up with a solution and having Troy Baker, who voices the Joker, and uh, multiple other people in that in all of those video games. He's pretty well circled in the Arkhamverse as far as he plays thugs, he plays Two Face, he plays Tim Drake, he plays the Joker in Origins, and yeah, he plays a lot of people. But they started having Troy Baker and Kevin Conroy on press tours together, so they couldn't give away anything that Kevin didn't know. So Troy was there to like help babysit while Kevin was answering questions. Communicate, you fucking asshats. Like, it's not that hard. Just tell
Yeah.
developers that you're making a game.
We an email, a text, a call.
It
Fuck,
li-
dude, send a carrier pigeon.
Dude, it could have been anything. Like, just a heads up. Like, hey, we're making an Arkham game. Make sure your actors don't spill the fucking beans about it. Like, they're not a part of it. Sorry. The only actor that is a part of it is fucking Troy Baker. Like, ugh. It was so confusing. Like, reading all of that was so confusing in itself. Like, how are you gonna get mad at Rocksteady for suing your ass when you took their property? It makes no sense.
They took their name off of it, tried to pawn it as their own.
For real. And then didn't even want to give them the fucking audacity to have their name put on it until they took
Yeah.
you to court. Like that's fucking ballsy, dude. Another,
Damn near the equivalent of being like, let your brother have a turn.
yeah,
Let your brother be on it.
it's also the equivalent of how I feel about the creators of Superman. Like, and to some extent, like the creators of Superman got pretty dealt a shit deal in the very early beginnings. But do you know how many times they have sued DC Comics and Warner Brothers in general? They just sued them again for this fucking movie, by the way.
You're kidding me. For what?
More money. They
Damn.
want more money. Like, I don't get it. Like these people at the very beginning, like the first handful of court sessions and stuff like that, it made sense because DC was cutting the original creators out of a lot because they stepped down and retired. And DC was caught like cutting their paychecks and trying not to pay them over time. So they had to come back and they had to fight for it. And when they did, I don't know if they just started getting like greedy with wanting more and more money, but even to this day, their kids and grandkids are still suing DC and Warner Brothers for more money.
That is just absolutely absurd, dude.
I'm
Absolutely absurd. It has to just be so annoying dealing with big companies like that who are constantly trying to take advantage of you every chance.
The first major lawsuit was in 1947, and then that led to multiple legal battles in 1965, 2001, and 2013. And then just recently in 2025, they filed another lawsuit against DC and Warner Brothers. Oh my god. Dude, the 1965 one lasted until 1974. And then they did it again in 1975. It just it keeps going.
Just crack their knuckles. You're like, well, time for our yearly lawsuit.
We gotta get another $1 million out of these assholes. Like, bro, you guys
Putting on the
are
gloves, going back to milking.
they're loaded. They're loaded. You can't tell me they're not loaded. Like Superman does fantastic. And you can blame I think they're called like the Spiegels or something. They signed away their copyrights, so it's their fault that they lost the copyright to Superman. And then when they realized their fuck up and how well Superman was doing, that's when they tried to fight for their rights back again to have some ownership of the character, or at least to get residuals from the comic books and like the future TV shows and stuff. It's literally every time new Superman product is released, they sued them over Superboy, by the way. I don't know if you know that, but that was one of the cases was because they created Superboy. And they were like, well, technically, if he's a byproduct of Superman, then he's a byproduct of us. So we need money off of his shit too. And like, you didn't make him. You didn't create Connor. Connor was not invented by you. Like, you have no rights to this man. But they still got him. They still got him.
That's insane. They hit him with the actually.
Literally. Literally, dude. So, comic talk, since we're still on comic books. I got a couple things. The first one being, have you seen the new Damian Wayne suit?
No, I have not actually.
Okay, so it's in my Discord. It's in my comics and manga section. I highly recommend everybody in chat to go take a look at it. I'm gonna go look at it too. So for the
Got that
longest
bad boy
time,
pulled up.
he
Let's throw
had
it.
he had his assassin suit going on.
Oh, whoa, look at that.
It's such a good suit. I honestly love the suits that he's been getting lately. Like they've been doing very good on Damien's suits. This new suit, dude, it carries so many vibes from every Robin. It's so insane. And it makes me so happy.
Not only are those colors hard, but I believe that's Penguin in the back. Is that right? With the
Yeah.
monocle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I really love the R being red and having the symbol be yellow behind him. I feel like that goes really hard. Um, it reminds me like with the leg pieces, it reminds me of Tim Drake's New 52 suit. But everything like above reminds me so much of Dick's suit. Um, and I don't know, like he just oh my god. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see how it looks and other panels and shit like that.
You know, I've never actually gotten into too many comic books. The ones that I've definitely read are, and it may sound like awful to people who really like comic books, but are the Star Wars ones that used to come with some of the figures, and that was always the most fun that I ever had.
Okay, you redeemed yourself when you said what comic books that you've read. I did I
Oh
just
man, that suit
like
goes hard.
it really does. Both of like I'm telling you, his suits have been insane. Like even his first suit was I was really happy with it. I was really happy with how it looked. It was different from the others and it was really creative. Every suit that he has had has been baller. It has gone hard. Like Damien by far has some of the best suits known to Robins out there.
You know what it makes me crave, actually?
Huh.
Another Injustice like game.
Oh, man. The Injustice world is intense.
Oh my God, it is. Playing that story for the very first time was absolutely insane.
I remember reading it like for the first time because I read the comics and then I couldn't play the games because I'm not good at like fighting games like that. Like Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Injustice, all of them, they're not my bag, man. I can't play them. But I followed the story pretty well because I wanted to see like how close it was to the comic books. And they did very, very well. So I will give the games that. Like they did a fantastic job.
Mhm.
Um oh, the movie? The movie was okay. The movie was okay. I liked it. It wasn't the greatest animated movie, but it was okay. I liked it.
You see, the thing with me is like I don't have the attention span for movies, unfortunately, but like you put me in a fighting game, dude, and I've fucking I feel like that's the just the way to get me to learn, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You fucking take The Great Gatsby. I ain't reading that shit. I actually hate that book. You put him in a fighting game though? Guess what, dude? I'm running that shit up.
Leon, it's just Leonardo DiCaprio as the Great
Oh,
Gatsby.
absolutely.
They
I
fucking
want
put
some
P
can
Diddy in
look,
there just for the fuck of it.
I want some alternative skins for Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm talking Romeo and Juliet. I'm talking Shutter Island. I'm talking What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Like all of them, dude. I want them all.
Fucking what's eating Gilbert Grape
A
skin?
fantastic movie.
Oh my god, an Arnie skin, dude.
Tell me
Dude,
that wouldn't go hard.
Fortnite, I need you to get on that shit. Get me an Arnie skin,
ASAP.
and get me a Gilbert skin too. Have them together. Oh my
Fuck it, dude.
god.
We're on The Great Gatsby. Throw in Toby Maguire.
Yeah, there you go. Fucking. Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure that was him in the movie, I think.
It was. He was the friend. I don't really know what they were. I got confused. I was
Mhm.
so the reason that like I struggle with that movie is not even necessarily because like I felt like the movie was very fast paced. They used the same Lana Del Rey song through the
Mhm.
entire film. It wasn't
Absolutely.
like it was a great song. That's like I don't really enjoy Lana Del Rey. That's no offense to her. It's just not my bag. There's a few songs by her that like I can sit through. That was one of them until I heard it through the entire fucking movie and then I didn't want to listen to it again because I felt like I had heard it quite enough.
Maybe I'm a giant dork, but I think if you're gonna do a period piece, you should have period piece-esque music, you know? Like, you can't have a roaring 20s style of movie and somebody's playing a saxophone to the beat of Jay-Z. You have to play it to the beat of fucking 1920s music.
That's fair. I do like how like when people do take newer music that sounds like it could fit in that era. Um
Yes.
because like I do feel like it mixes it up because I feel like when people go back to the 1920s or like the 40s or something, they keep continuing to pick the same like top charted songs instead of like deep diving other artists and like or the top 10 artists of that time. They don't dive into any other music of theirs. They just pick off their top charts and I'm like, you gotta like branch out, motherfucker. Like, if
Hmm.
you don't have your music crew sitting listening to different music, what are you doing?
Yeah, throw some variety in that bitch.
For real. Like, there are so many folk artists. Like the gentleman I was telling you about, Monrovia. He is a folk artist. And I've gotten to chat with him a few times, and I really want to go to his show in November, but he makes amazing folk music that talks about it talks about grief, it talks about survivor's guilt, it talks about anxiety, it talks about so much, and his music could easily be like set into a Fallout verse or into any sort of western and it would be totally fine. Yeah,
Look,
it's
if there's one thing about me, man, I'm throwing my Great Gatsby hate everywhere in the air. I'm letting people breathe that shit in like pollen.
uh, I guess I got to talk about it now cuz it's in chat. Another movie that fucked me up as a kid was the fucking 2005 Peter Jackson King Kong movie.
Oh man, I love that movie
That
so much.
dude, that movie is fantastic. God, I can't believe I'm fucking talking about this. So yeah, for some reason King Kong was one of those movies I couldn't like disconnect reality from. Um, I think it's because when you get to the trench part with the bugs and the spiders and
Yeah.
I'm I'm getting uncomfortable just thinking,
Centipedes.
dude, oh my god. I hate that scene. Um from that scene on, like can I just say like that movie gravitates you from the very get-go. And Peter
Oh yeah.
Jackson just has that way about him to do that from the very second anything pops on the screen. You're glued to any form of television that you're watching. And so from the start of that movie until the very end, I was in it. I was in that movie. And then it comes time for the very end when all the helicopters start pew 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 shooting down fucking King Kong. It actually didn't start there. I'm lying to you. I tried to skip ahead and then realized who's in chat and knew I would get called out, so I'm lying to you. It's
Oh,
it's
oh.
it started when they tranquilized him before he even gets to the city, before they even think about killing him. I don't know what it was about the tranquilizing scene where they tranquilize him and get him to start going down that sent me bawling. And then I had to watch as they capture this giant ass monkey, put him in chains, tie him to a boat, travel him to New York, and then shove him on a stage to be a fucking puppet. I am rooting for his ass to take out fucking New York. And when he finally escapes and starts doing all that, and then here come the planes and shooting him down, I lose my shit. I lose every ounce of water that was in my system, and they're all just flooding out of my eyes because I'm sobbing. And here I am, a fucking 6-year-old kid, watching a giant ass gorilla get taken down, and then this blonde, who was it? Was it fucking Kate Hudson? No, it wasn't Kate Hudson. It was fucking something Naomi something. I forget. I forget her name.
Um,
Uh, Naomi
uh,
Watts.
Jack Black.
That's he does. I'm talking about the girl.
Yeah, it's actually still him, but he's doing like a Tyler Perry sort of deal where he plays every role.
Confidence in your voice when you just Jack Black.
It's Jack Black. It's 100%.
I was right. It's
Look,
fucking Naomi Watts. Oh my god.
yeah, isn't that what I said actually?
Sure. Oh my god. But yeah, fucking Naomi Watts, like when she's just bawling her eyes out on the tower and like holding his hand, his giant ass finger, and she's just like,
Mhm.
no. Dude, anyways, yeah, that's the embarrassing story for me.
Look, that movie though was like a an anchor in my life. I feel like that altered me as a small child
Yes.
to exactly the type of movies and the type of media that I would always like
Yes.
thereafter.
And then, like, knowing that Andy Serkis is the one who played King Kong, like, he did the motion capture for King Kong. And then he later goes and does the motion capture for fucking Caesar in Planet of the Apes. By the way, can I just say, best fucking reboot in the world.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Like,
They did that movie so well.
it was so good. I actually just finished watching all of them. The I think it's just Andy Serkis. I think I just figured out the problem. When Andy Serkis dies on screen, you just cry immediately. Um, cuz he like spoiler alert everybody. I'm so sorry if you haven't seen these movies yet, but get the fuck on it. But at
Mhm.
the end of War of the Planet of the Apes, I think it's War. The last movie with Caesar in it, when he dies, dude, it was like that shit broke me. Like I was that kid watching King Kong again. It was
Mhm.
so like he fought so hard to bring peace um and tried to bring peace among apes and humans and like tried to separate them, giving the humans their space and the apes their space, and the humans just do what humans do and got greedy. And then the apes started following through with, following in human traits of they started getting greedy and started becoming more human than the humans were, and the apes were like resolving back into ape form and like couldn't talk. They were losing functioning ability of walking normal. Like the whole scene was flip-flopping. The apes were humans and the humans were apes. It was a crazy ideology of all this whole world. And but like you go and watch Tim Burton's version of Planet of the Apes, the original versions, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Like I tried
Yeah,
to.
like what the hell is even this?
Dude, I tried to. I was like, dude, Mark Wahlberg's in this, Helena Bonham Carter, like fuck it up. This is gonna be great. I sit down and watch it, and yeah, that it
It's
it was something.
yeah, dude. It really is. It's just like an ape with a heavy Boston accent. He's like, you know what? I think we're gonna rise. I think we're gonna start a war.
We're gonna start a
We're gonna,
war.
we're gonna start a war.
I think he was the human. I think he was the only human. But I'm pretty sure he like fucks Helena Bonham Carter.
I just had to shield my records from the sun so the fucking evil star doesn't melt them.
The evil. I'm gonna call the sun that from now on. The evil
The
star
evil star.
rose. Um,
The evil star that makes me smell bad and fucking burns my skin alive.
turns me completely into a lobster. Let's move on to music. An album I wanted to discuss is not a new album, but it's by Sleeping with Sirens, and it's the album called Gossip. I don't know what made me re-listen to this album recently, but I just listened to it like this past week, and I genuinely feel like this album got so overlooked by them that it's insane. They have some of the best songs that they've ever done on this fucking album. and I don't hear anybody talking about it nearly enough.
You know, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I, to this day, have only heard one Sleeping with Sirens song.
What song?
Ooh, let me pull up my Spotify real quick.
It's one of two. I have a feeling it's one of two. It's either James Dean and Audrey
Holy
Hepburn,
fuck.
or it's
Why did I
Kim
do
K.
that? I just
May.
pulled up my Spotify and looked up Spotify. I think you're right. I think it's James.
I knew it. That's the song that everybody hears. Which, I mean, I'm not judging. It's a good song.
Mm.
But yeah, if you have time at some point, if you vibe with them, I'm not gonna make you listen to a band that you don't vibe with. That album alone, it has a little bit of a pop tone to it. Um, but I don't, I just don't know what it is about this album that I feel like that era of them flew by so incredibly fast. And it felt like nobody noticed it. There are some of like the most heart-wrenching songs on here, like the song Closer. I've been sharing that a little bit everywhere today. But that song real today alone really helped me get my ass into a lot of motivation. So yeah, if you have time, I feel like you would really vibe with How It Feels to Be Lost and Complete Collapse. Those two albums I feel like you would vibe with because those are some of their heavier albums apart from their early stuff. If you have the chance to listen to Gossip, go do it.
I absolutely will. Because I don't even know why I never listened to Sleeping with Sirens. Because like they've always been around me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like not them physically or spiritually, but like their essence. Like everybody, at least one person has been like into them, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So the fact that I've just avoided it for so long is kind of absurd.
Is there any music that you have?
Oh, absolutely. One album in particular which forever changed the trajectory of my life since I very first listened to them. Um, Motion City Soundtracks, Commit This to Memory, turned 20 years old this very month on the 7th.
Wow.
And 20 years is a long time.
Yeah.
The only thing crazier than that is I've been listening to them for the last 19. Um,
Oh.
it's actually so insane to see because this album in particular, I have seen the 10-year anniversary, the 15-year anniversary, the 17-year anniversary, and if they announce a 20-year tour, I mean, I have to cap it off with that,
Oh,
you know?
they have to, dude. They have to. Look, if I have autism, it's definitely leaning towards organization and like just some off the wall shit. Like I just don't understand what my brain gravitates towards, but I make playlists for everything. And when I make playlists, I don't just toss songs in there and call it quits and put it on a shuffle. No, I sit there and I organize the songs and I listen to them to the very end and make sure that when the next song plays, it follows from that previous song. Like, it has to be perfect. It has to flow. And if it can't flow without the shuffle being on, I don't want the fucking playlist. I don't know what that I don't know what that is. I don't know why. I'm just built different, I guess. Oh yeah, the burning on the CDs. That's where it started from. As I would
Oh,
sit there
absolutely.
on my dad's laptop and just fucking go through the different CDs and libraries of music that I had, and I would just like set them up like they were my own albums. Oh, Dad, I'm so sorry. I wasted so many CDs. My CD burner thanked me the day we bought you a phone. Oh, dude, it was my MP3, brother. Oh, dude, I never looked
Look, let me
back.
tell you, the minute that my brother and I probably, no, not even that, the minute that smartphones came out, my computer probably breathed a sign of relief at my parents because it was like, finally, thank God they're not using LimeWire and waterboarding me again just to take 25 minutes to download a Tupac.
I think my dad's computer was very happy the day that I was able to watch YouTube on the Xbox 360 because I would sit and watch. Star Wars fan films over and over and over again. And then it eventually led to Batman fan films, which I don't. The Batman fan films got more cinematic than the Star Wars ones. Yeah, that led me to a series called Patient J, which was a Joker fan series. And at the end of that series, take it, I'm like 9, 10 maybe. And the end of that series is the Joker carving out somebody's teeth with a knife. And I was just like sitting there like this is fucking awesome. I love this thing. And then my parents are oblivious to what's going on at first, and then they finally see it and they look over and they're like, "What the fuck? Hell no, turn that shit off." And yeah.
I think especially music is just so big for kids, you know?
Yes.
It just like shapes everything without us even realizing. Because going back to like the burning, like one CD I think changed my life, and it was one that my brother didn't want. But on that very CD, it had like, so it was the heyday, dude. Fucking From Under the Cork Tree just came out. Fever
Ooh.
You Can't Sweat Out just came out. Commit This to Memory just came out. It was all of those, and it just so many bangers from that year, from so many hit bands. Like I'm pretty sure the All American Rejects was on there, and it just shapes everything, you know.
Yeah.
Because like, who would expect you're a 6-year old kid, you listen to the, and from there on, that just defines your genres.
Yeah. No, literally, like I grew up with. It's so funny because like in 1 minute I grew up with like the Beatles and Johnny Cash and all of them, and then in the very next breath, I also grew up with Rob Zombie and Korn and Alice in Chains and Nirvana and Foo Fighters, and then once again in the same breath I also grew up with Eminem, 50 Cent, and Jay Z and all of those guys. So like I grew up
Mhm.
with a very different plethora of music, and it definitely does show today because if you listen to my personal playlist that is crafted specifically just for me, it is everything and anything that you could think of. And if I shuffle my Spotify on that DJ thing, you will get some of the wackiest shit in the entire world. You will go from folk music to rap music to heavy metal music to punk music, and then out of nowhere the Assassin's Creed soundtrack will come on, and then you'll just jump right back into indie music, and then all of a sudden here comes the Lord of the Rings soundtrack out of nowhere. Like it keeps
Mhm.
bouncing you back and forth in these different sounds. And I think for me, like with somebody with ADHD, the best way I've ever heard somebody describe it was Billy Joel Armstrong, where he said it's like for me when I have music on, all of these other radio stations that are going on within my head are kind of
Mhm.
like dialed down. They don't end, they're not muted, but they're dialed down. And for
Yeah.
me, that's always how it's been is I'm constantly running to the next thought, to this next idea or whatever you have it. And then finally when I was able to have my own music and travel it with me, it was legit like I was able to sit still. It's like that if you get a certain film on for me. Like I don't know if you caught, but like the past like 5 years, every time I've had like a birthday party or something, I'll immediately put on Batman Mask of the Phantasm. And that's because
Mhm.
like I love y'all, you guys are great, but when there's a lot of you all at once, I start getting overstimulated. So I put on Batman Mask of the Phantasm and I zone the fuck in, and that
Yeah.
is great. Like, and you guys just let it happen too. You guys are just like, yeah, he's doing his thing. He's watching Batman. Like, you guys
Oh,
just let me do my own shit in the corner.
and I mean, that's so fair though too, because like there will come a time, especially when everybody's together, that you just hit the wall. You know, you hit the wall and you start to get overwhelmed by every conversation and everybody in the room. Hmm.
Like, it's not even like just you guys. Like, I am more comfortable with you guys and the stream friends that I've made than anybody else in the entire fucking world. But like, when there's a lot of you and there's a lot of us, like we have a big friend group, and anytime we get together, I am always prepping myself before I leave my house. Like, okay, there's gonna be a lot of people there, so like, you gotta swing with the punches. You gotta get used to it. And I think that's where it's gonna get harder this year now because I got sober. I haven't really like I talked about it on stream a little bit, but when I first got sober, I kind of like told people like, "Oh, I don't have a problem. It's okay." And then I was watching an interview with Tom Holland and he was talking about getting sober and he was like the best like quote that I heard was I didn't have a problem with alcohol until I got sober. And it's true cuz it's literally when like I got sober, I at first was like, "Oh, there was no problem. Like I monitored, I watched myself and I was fine. Like I just don't want to drink anymore." And then as time passed, I started catching myself like catching the craving of, man, I want a beer. Man, I really want to drink. Wow, I kind of want to get drunk. And it was the idea of getting drunk. And
Yeah.
like I was like I really just want to go get drunk. Like just hop next door and grab like 3 beers. You'll get there and no problem. And that's when I then started realizing like what really made me stop what really made me get sober was it was Super Bowl time and I'd gotten drunk because there was nothing to do. I had no work the next day or anything like that. And then, I got drunk, I went to bed, and then I woke up the next day and I was just like, all right, let's get drunk again. Knowing I had work the next day. Like, knowing
Mhm.
I had responsibilities to do that very next day. And my brain was just like, let's just get drunk, dude. And I I didn't realize it until I had gotten sober and had made the choice to actually get sober, and I still like I hate to bring it up, but like just this past couple weeks, like the amount of times I have wanted to break that sobriety to just chug an entire bottle of Jack Daniels or to go get a pack of cigarettes and to just like
Mm.
be miserable was so tempting. It has been incredibly tempting. And
Oh, absolutely. It's hard. It's real hard.
it's so and it's even hard now like I'm terrified of like what's going to come from New Year's. And I know nobody's going to like force me to drink there. You guys are all respectful about it and you guys won't peer pressure me to drink and if anybody does, they'll get told to knock it off and stuff. But like that's always how I escaped being crowded around everybody was by being drunk. I always felt freer. I always felt like I could keep moving. I had an excuse to keep moving when I was drunk and it was very similar aspects of I felt like I had to be drunk to be social. And now it's just one of those things where like I'm kind of terrified like if I go to New Year's and I go to this party like am I going to shut down at the very get go? Or am I going to be able to be a person again? Like that's what really terrifies me about that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how we got on this topic.
You know what? I'm not exactly too, but I definitely get that.
I'm vibing. I'm having a good time.
And I'm right up there with you, man. Because like, I used to be, especially in college, I just drank so damn much. Because that's just what people did, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you just kind of followed the wave. You get done with the class, and everybody's like, cool, let's go celebrate that test at a bar. And you're like, fuck it. And, one drink turns into like 12.
Yeah.
And that was just, how it was. And now, thankfully, by, you know, the graces, now if I have a fucking drink, my stomach just fucking caves in on itself and I start dying.
Yeah, that
Um,
I
it
also
kind of
felt the
helps a
same
bit.
way. Yeah.
hmm So I'll be right up there with you. We can keep each other from it.
Hell yeah. It's
Yeah, right.
it's fucking hot in this goddamn state. I can't think.
I can't either. I feel like I'm in a fucking air fryer, dude.
Oh my god.
Just absolutely cooking. The air is circulating, but it's just circulating.
Have you seen that movie? It's
I should have
like
put in a catheter, dude. I really should have. To pee so
go pee. If you need to pee, go pee. There's editing
bad.
for a reason.
That is that's valid. Nah, I feel like we've got momentum going, dude.
Oh
I'll let
my
it ride.
Legion. The movie's Legion. Have you ever
Oh,
seen
I
the
love
movie?
Legion. I fucking love that movie, dude.
Okay, do you remember the part where the dude is like on the stake and his stomach is bubbling from being out in the heat and his stomach acid was bubbling inside of him?
Yes,
Yeah, that's exactly what this weather feels like.
dude. Oh my God, that's so valid. That's so fucking valid.
As soon as you were like, I feel like I'm in an air fryer, that is the first image that popped into my head was that dude just on the spike, like screaming for his wife. And for the longest time, I thought that was Jason Bateman, and it's not. It is not. He is not in that movie.
Were they gonna turn that into a whole series? Because I could have sworn they would, or
Yeah,
at least maybe by the ending, I kind of thought that it would, but I don't think they ever did release.
I don't think the movie did well, is the
Damn,
thing.
that sucks. Because that rocked. I guess I was, just a came out, but still.
Yeah, I mean that movie does go hard. I need to rewatch it. Yeah, it's been coming up a lot lately, and I don't know why. This weather has just made me think about it so much. All right, buddy. Do you have anything? Is there anything you wanted to talk about or discuss or show
Is it
me?
okay if I do some plugs, actually?
Go for it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
We
Um,
actually should do that,
so
yeah.
this is kind of this is making me want to bring streaming. I wonder if my connection will be able to handle it. So I'm definitely thinking of trying. If you want to subscribe and want to hear me just spit absolute bullshit, you can find me on Twitch TV. It's Loafing Meat, capital L, capital M.
Mhm.
If you can't find that, try it lowercase. It will be Little Loafing Meat.
Yeah, anytime that we will do live podcasts, which thank you guys for joining the very first one. We appreciate it. And normally,
Absolutely.
like in future live podcasts, we will be opening the floor for questions and stuff. But since today was a test, we didn't really have a plan. I had things written down for once, which was nice, but we're not creating separate Twitches for the podcast simply
Yeah.
because it's a smarter way to draw audiences to our channels. So we'll just be doing the guest star stuff. So follow me at Sir Snoogans and Jake at Loafing Meat. Oh yeah, we've got so many ideas. We want to do guests. We want to do like in person podcasts eventually. You know, it being the start, it's still fresh, so we gotta go slow. Yeah, so follow us basically everywhere at
Hmm.
Best Buds LLP. Is
Little penis.
Little Penis. As of tomorrow, when we're filming this, but by the time that this episode goes out, the first episode will already have been out. So if you
Hmm.
guys have not, go listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, basically anywhere where you could find podcasts. That's where we're on there. Best Buds
Hmm.
LLP.
Remember, guys, like and follow our channel, Best Buds LLP. We'll be
Yes,
coming in hot every single time.
every
The live
Wednesday.
pod has been so much fun.
So yeah, just like he said, like, subscribe, follow, add, do everything that you guys can. Share the podcast around with your friends. If you guys do end up liking the podcast, let us know if you guys would possibly like merch. And if you guys would, we have ideas cooking. Keep track of the pod, and we shall see all of you in the next one.
Very, very soon. You guys have been great. Thank you so much for your support.